everybody, it's at KK's Action Reviews. We are back again with another video, and guys, we're here to talk about Superman and Lois. This will be my spoiler review of Superman and Lois Season 2, Episode 6, called Tried and True. This was a crazy-ass episode because we got a lot more about Bizarro in this episode because we found out in last week's episode with the whole quinceañera thing going on, and then, Clark finding out more about Bizarro and the whole fight that he had with Bizarro. And us finding out the X-Kryptonite makes Bizarro weak. It's like his version of Kryptonite, and I really loved that fight sequence of that episode. And then us finding out that he is only trying to take out I forget what the girl's name is already. It's like I forget what it is. I don't know why I'm forgetting what her name is. It's Allie Alston. And finding out that he wanted to go kill Allie. That's the only reason why he's there, because he knows that she is gonna destroy, our Superman's world, and that's why he is here, and that's why, he is trying to he's killing everybody that's in his pathway of trying to stop Allie. And we find out more about that because we start this episode where we're on in Bizarro's universe, and there's it's all Red Sun, and already I was in my mind, I'm okay, this looks like Red Sun, and is that maybe why he's wearing a suit? Is that protecting him so he can live in this universe? What's happening here? Or how did the Red Sun thing happen? And we get this montage of we see inside the house, and the house is all destroyed and messed up, and it just looks like a mess. Smallville at that, it looks like a mess. And as we can see is that I don't know if Bizarro looked like that initially, or something happened to make him look like that. We really don't get that understanding of how he started to look like that. All I know is that when he is, leaving his place, we end up seeing him, I guess he's trying to take out Allie, and we get this cool fight sequence where he's it looks like he's at the DOD, and it looks like that's where Allie is in this alternate universe, and he's trying to stop Allie, and we get this big fight sequence with all of these guards from the DOD trying to stop Bizarro, but before he, before he goes in, he steps outside of his place or whatever, when he leaves, he's about to leave the farm, and he breathes in this inhaler, and it looks like X-Kryptonite, and that's what made me think, how is X-Kryptonite helping you here? But over on, our Earth with our Superman, that makes you weak. Unless that's just Yellow Sun he's, inhaling, I don't know. But, he needed that to have an edge to take out all these guards until we get the moment where, on this Earth, or on this universe, one of the, Anderson super people, if not Anderson is involved with the super people, and maybe Allie's in charge of the super people, Lana is one of the super people, and that fight sequence was freaking sick to see Lana in that cool suit, and, she was fighting Bizarro Superman, and I just want to know the backstory of that universe on how he became to look like that, how the Red Sun is now the Red Sun, and there's no Yellow Sun. It was X-Kryptonite he was breathing in, or was it Yellow Sun? I'm assuming it was Yellow Sun, so that, because he said that he's weak with X-Kryptonite from the mines and stuff, so I'm thinking that maybe wasn't what was powering up. Maybe it was the Yellow Sun he needed to use to whatever. Maybe that was what was what was flowing through the suit, or maybe that was protecting him. I don't really understand where that suit comes in, because it looks like a wasteland. It looks terrible in this universe, because as we all know from what Chrissy said, is that world, everybody was afraid of Allie, and it almost looked like it didn't just take over Smallville, but take over the whole entire world. So that is very interesting to me on how she got all that power, except that we find out a little bit more when we get all the information, and we get the understanding of I guess when he tried to stop Allie when he got through Lana, he got her necklace, but she escaped before, I guess, he took the necklace, and then she escaped to go to, the main universe, because I guess this necklace is so ancient, but is connected to, it's connected, to each other. I guess, each universe is connected, it's a different side of the universe, which that's the other side. It's, flipped over, it's backwards. Hence the whole maybe Bizarro aspect, I'm assuming, because it's, a backwards universe. But I'm just wanting to know more on how, I know it's an ancient necklace that was passed down through Allie's family, but we don't really know the essence of where it came from, besides the fact that she needed, when she was younger, she needed to acquire the necklace to have full access to the will of all the money and everything. So she built her that's how she built her empire, and her whole cult behind all that shit is because she took the necklace, but she also took the curse. She took the will, but she also took the curse of the necklace, and how, like, the one person said, like, it ruins anybody, and like it ruins the family, or it's ruined our family for generations. This necklace getting passed down, it's just cursed. It's cursed our family. So I'm just wondering more about, like, how this necklace came to be. How is this Superman always looked like this? Because we even get a pan of, we see Jordan in one of the photos, we see Jonathan, but it looks like, I don't know if we saw Lois in one of the pictures or not. I'm assuming she was in there, or maybe she died, I don't know. Because even when Bizarro said to our Superman, like, she'll destroy everybody that you love and care about, so I'm assuming that no one was really in that house. So I'm assuming she killed Jordan, she killed Jonathan, she killed Lois, anybody that had anything that, like, that, anybody that was connected to our, to Superman died. So that's why I'm thinking that that's why that Bizarro Superman came to our Superman saying, you need to kill her, because you're not going to let me kill her, and now I'm trying to explain to you why I need to kill her, because she'll kill everybody that you care about, and your world will be lost. And that's what I love, is that Clark is going on this journey, pretty much in this episode, hiding Bizarro out at Talrose Fortress, and still keeping him in this, I guess, like, in this protective barrier, so he can't get out. So he's pretty much trying to use Bizarro as, like, an information guide on how to take down Allie. And pretty much the way I'm thinking is that he's thinking if he destroys the necklace, this will end. And I'm thinking that's her source of power, and that cuts her tie from both of the worlds and both of the universes. So maybe that will automatically, like, I don't know if that will automatically send back that Bizarro. I don't know, because it seems like, in a way, Bizarro is sort of the victim of his own universe, in this other universe, and he's trying to do what he needs to do to stop Allie, to protect our Superman's universe. And I don't know if they're tied to the fact that maybe if he stops Allie here, things will go back to normal there. I don't think that's the case, but he thinks that, my world's lost, but I could still fix my mistake on maybe not taking Allie out when I should have, and I have to warn this other Superman that's connected, this other universe's Superman, to stop Allie, so the same thing doesn't happen to my Earth, doesn't happen to his Earth. So I really love what's going on here, is that Bizarro is not truly all bad, and there's more to it, even though he's done terrible things. Like, he's killed those two of Anderson's supers with, I don't know what their names exactly were. I'm just going to call them Super 1 and Super 2. And Super 3 is Tag, but that's the only name I really know. But he's killed both of them, and he's killed that Dr. Faulkner lady, and that got in his way or had anything to do with anybody's trying to stop him to get Allie and to take Allie out. So I'm just wondering, in this episode, we know that our Superman is keeping him hidden from Anderson. Anderson is really not having it. That somebody that's more in charge of Anderson isn't happy with Anderson's disconnection to Superman, and how the government is doesn't have a relationship with Superman anymore because of Anderson's actions. And she's like, how is it that when something years of Sam gaining Superman's trust, or the government or Sam never having problems with Superman, and we earned his trust from one of our strongest assets, and out of nowhere when we replace you, we replace Sam, or I guess you with Sam. My bad. Or we put you in as Sam's replacement, that we lose all that friendship and that trust, and that our strongest asset and he just lost your trust. You know what I mean? How is this is happening? And then there's some other Kryptonian out here killing people, and we have no clue where he is. How is it that when we replace somebody, that's everything goes to shit? And pretty much the thing that really pissed me off about this episode is that he got so angry that people were that he was doing things wrong by recruiting underage kids, and around I'm assuming 14. He recruited 14-year-old kids to become supers that weren't even 18 yet. You know what I mean? They weren't even adults to even know what they were even getting into, to even fight Bizarro and all these other people, because it's dangerous, especially when you have that S on your chest. You're literally calling out. You're just asking for trouble. You're sticking out like a sore thumb, literally. Because there's danger when it comes to wearing that S, and Anderson had no right to do what he did, and had no right to send in literal kids to go fight, to make his little army of pawns and stuff. Like, that really annoyed me. And I love the moment where, like, he has to attend their funeral, because he said, like, the one director that was in charge of him said, you have to be there at their funerals, and you need to, and once you come back here, I need you to, like, get things in order. You need to, like, make up a Superman. You need to get things in order. You need to hunt down this Kryptonian. You need to do that. And the moment when he gets to their funeral and Superman is there, one of the moms of the daughter of Anderson's Soup, pretty much, she was pissed. She's like, my daughter's dead because of you. Like, how come you can't tell? How come you haven't found her killer yet? And you know what I mean? It's, was blaming Anderson for her daughter's death, which, again, she should, because he screwed up. He should have never had her in there to begin with. And he is taking this to the point where he's blaming Superman for keeping all these secrets, blaming Superman for not being just for America. He's butthurt because he's not getting his way. So he ends up pretty much shooting Superman with a kryptonite, bullet or like trank, and puts sets him up pretty much so he would come there thinking that Anderson had some information, or Anderson wanted to talk to him, and pretty much it was an ambush. Literally, he had like a red sun, lights all around this hallway, and it literally like was a foreshadowing of like Bizarro Superman fighting in the same hallway at the DoD, trying to get to somebody. It was like a kind of like a same like foreshadowing, but he wasn't trying to get to somebody. He was just trying to get out of there. But Anderson, he said, Superman said to Anderson, don't do this, you know what I mean? But Anderson is so fed up with not having his way and not being able to control Superman that he is willing to paint Superman out as the enemy, saying that you're the one that's, that is keeping secrets from us. You're the one that's not working, that's not working with us or whatever. It's because Anderson is not getting his way, and he's just saying bullshit ass lies, and he's not admitting to what he did was wrong, sending in underage kids and like out in the field, not knowing what they were going to go up against, that led them to die by this Bizarro. And also the fact that it is his fault that Superman can't trust him, because the reason that Superman can't trust Anderson is because he wants Superman to be just for America, when that's not who Superman is. So that's just Anderson's fault, but he can't admit it. So he's going to make Superman out as the enemy by keeping all this information hidden, when I don't blame Superman for not trusting Anderson. I mean, even the director doesn't blame Superman for not trusting Anderson, but wants Anderson to get his shit together. But this is not him getting his shit together, and I'm hoping he gets his ass kicked at some point, because I cannot stand Anderson. I hated that character from day one. I knew he was suspect. And I mean, even though he might have good intentions, this isn't a good intention. He's been doing everything terrible by the book. He's not been thinking straight. Not even Sam, I feel like, would make this much of a mistake, sending in kids like this. I don't even know if Sam would do some shit like this. I don't even know. But then again, I don't know. Sam possibly could have done some shit like that, because Sam, before, really Clark and Lois really got to him, he was kind of like that until, he retired, and he's more level-headed, I feel like, now. But I don't know. It really frustrates me that Anderson is going down this path and pretty much, capturing Superman until he gives up information of where Bizarro is. But he doesn't understand of what information, again, Superman has. He doesn't know that Bizarro, even though he did what he did, he thought he was doing it in a good intention because of how his world ended up being by him not killing, Allie in time. Look what happened to his universe. He doesn't know what Superman knows about Bizarro. Hence why Superman is keeping Bizarro hidden from Anderson, because Anderson might kill Bizarro, even though Superman is using Bizarro as an information vessel to understand what he needs to do to take out Allie. Not kill Allie, because, that's what Bizarro wants Superman to do, but at least take out the necklace. Our Superman is thinking, if I take out the necklace, I take out all this shit from happening, which automatically will save his universe, but they'll also save Lucy, because Lucy will find out that this whole ascending, cult shit is actually bad. And I love the moment in this episode where Sam is trying to connect Lois and connect Lucy together and have them, relive the good old days where, before all this cult shit with, Allie, and like relive the good old days, which really made me happy to see all that. And they were talking about, when Lucy came in, she saw the picture of Jordan and Jonathan, and she's like, oh my god, look how big they've grown. Oh my god, look how cute Jordan is with his cute cheeks and stuff and his long hair. And he's like, and then Lucy was like, Dad, you must hate that or whatever. And he's like, well, yeah, he looks like the pirates from those movies. And when he said those pirate movies, I was like, you're talking about Pirates of the Caribbean. And then the moment Lois was like, you mean Pirates of the Caribbean? I was like, let's go. I was like, are you guys actually gonna say it? Because I mean, it is owned by Disney, and I didn't know if that was like that's why he was just saying pirates movies. But they said that Pirates of the Caribbean. I was like, yeah, And that was just very funny to me that they were mentioning that and stuff, and they were just having good old times and they weren't fighting. And it really upset me when Sam went to go get them both chili dogs with extra cheese or whatever, and they started getting into the argument where like Lucy's like Lois is like I hope I hope to have you around more for Jordan and Jonathan because they would love to have you around. And and she's like, oh, thank you. I'm finally happy. You're that you see things, see the truth or whatever, or see it for the truth or whatever. And like are we having an agreement or something like that? I forget what really like set Lois off to the point where like Lois is like, no. You know what I mean? Like, I am still right about Allie. I mean, I understand that I might not have I didn't have all the details, but I'm right about Allie. And she's like, I thought that, if anything, you would have believed now, especially after Chrissy did her ascending and she came back. I thought that would make you believe. And she's like, no, don't you see how that's wrong? What Allie did to Chrissy and stuff. Like, there's stuff that's wrong here. It is a cult. She's doing things that are really bad. And you might think she has good intentions, but she doesn't. I really thought Lucy was really almost going back to normal until that moment, and it makes me scared that things can only get worse from here. But I'm hoping that Lois is slightly getting with the whole them connecting. I'm hoping that's what brings her back. But I don't know what's really gonna bring her back until like maybe the whole necklace being broken, or maybe when she sees Bizarro knowing it's all connected, or I don't even know. Maybe I kept thinking maybe she knows that because when Clark came in, because when the moment after Anderson, after Superman is seeing Anderson, he ends up flying out, and this is during the funeral and the whole that mom slapping Anderson for the death of her daughter. They're in the middle of talking about, like, he explains to Anderson about Bizarro and how Bizarro isn't actually the enemy. He's actually here to save our planet, blah, 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 blah. And before he could really get any more information, he flew off, but he flew off to go stop, I guess, it was an avalanche out in, I forget where it was. But, he stopped his avalanche from, like, destroying a little town. And pretty much, Anderson's, like, said to one of his soldiers, like, go track him, find out where he's going. And he doesn't like, again, how he is saving everybody in all these different countries. He does not like that. He wants Superman just to be for America. And that all boils down to why Superman does not trust him. He is not giving him any reason to trust Anderson. No, Anderson is just not trustworthy. He's doing all the wrong things. He's just not the person that Superman can trust. I can't blame him. I just don't like that character. But after that, he gets sent to know that, that what's going on with Lucy and all that stuff, and he ends up showing up because, he can't be just gone, because Lucy will start probably asking questions like, oh, where's Clark? You know what I mean? And why is he always disappearing? Because, I mean, she's been there and probably experienced Clark just not being there, disappearing or something, so he had to show up to say hi. But it was nice to him to see that they were all smiling and talking, and it made, Lois happy that, she felt like she had her old sister back. And that was just nice to see that. But I just hope we can get through the Lucy, because that shit's just insane how she believes that Allie is just this saint and that this whole ascending thing isn't dangerous. It's scary that, it's scary. You know what I mean? So I just hope we can bring Lucy back, because that's the Lucy I remember from like Supergirl. Like that's that Lucy I remember. That's just, so, you know what I mean? That's so that opened up or whatever, and it had like, it was cool about things, and I don't know. I just want that Lucy back, and I hope we can bring her back, because I feel like it'd be sad if somehow, it's too late and Lois can save her. So I just hope we can. I think we will though. But going on with everything else, where that, out of the whole Lois and, Lucy stuff, and out of the whole, Superman and Bizarro and Anderson things, we're gonna go over to Sarah and Jordan, and how Sarah's at school, and she's still processing with the fact of like she is she had a rough experience in the morning when Lana was like doing dishes and stuff, and she's asking them if like they want anything to eat and stuff, and she's like, oh, can you go get Sophie dressed and stuff for school, and that was just sad to see. She wanted her to go help her get dressed, so Lana could cry. So that's why Lana sent them. Said, Sarah, can you go help Lucy go get dressed for school? And you just see how Lana's just is sad. She's still in her robe. She's looks like she just got out of bed, and she's just sad. She's not. You know what I mean? She just went through a big heartbreak, finding out that someone that committed to her cheated on her, and we find out for I think it was 6 months or whatever, and she finds that out through she goes and confronts the bartender and asks her oh, did you love him? And she's like, yeah, I thought I did. And she explains, Kyle's a good guy. He broke it off with me when he found out that what was going on with Sarah, and that really hurt Lana, because it's if it wasn't for Sarah, would you ever have broke it off with her to save our marriage? Would you ever have just realized it was wrong and tried to save our marriage without it being what was going on with Sarah? So that is a true thing. And also the conversation, that Lana and Clark had, which was, if you found out Lois cheated on you, do you think you would be able to trust her again, and would you be able to do that again? And he's like, I don't know. It would depend on why she cheated, and what the situation was. And she says, what would it be like, would you be able to ever trust her again if you accepted her apology and you started to work things out again? Would you be able to trust her again? And he said, yeah, I'd have to, for us to save our marriage and for us to keep going. That's what I would have to do. And it's true. I mean, in my personal experience, literally, I had someone that cheated on me, and I couldn't trust them again. You know what I mean? I don't understand how people can cheat in the world, but people can, and it makes me sad that people can do that. Even in marriage or even in dating, it's sad that people can't be loyal to people, but that's just some people. That's who they are, and they can't commit. So it really makes me sad that, again, Kyle did what he did. It's dude, how the hell could you do that? I just can't wrap my head around it. That Lana is such a down to earth, sick, cool, awesome woman, and I just can't see how Kyle screwed up. And he has 2 cool children. I just don't see it. I just don't see how he was able to F this up, but he did. But again, I mean, he had a drinking problem around the time even before he found out what was going on with Sarah. So I don't know. I feel like I'm happy that he has to actually work to get back in Lana's good gracious. He has to, really prove to Lana that, he screwed up. He needs to do that. I mean, when he showed up at the house, I was like, dude, you shouldn't have done that. You should have let her at least want to see you. I wouldn't have just showed up like that. You know what I mean? No, bro. I was like, you can't expect her just to accept your apology. You need to earn it. It's going to take some time. You screwed up. It's not going to be that easy. And she even said, when she found out about the whole, he didn't break it off until after he found out about Sarah. She confronts him, and Lana says that, look, I want your stuff out of the house. It's going to take some time to see if I even still love you anymore, because it's not like how we were when we were 17, and we were head over heels about each other, and you know what I mean, we're grown-ups now, and I don't know how I feel about you after all that time you've had this other relationship, you know what I mean, that you were cheating on me. I just don't know how I feel about it. So it makes sense. I'm happy that they're doing this. I'm wondering how long this is going to go on for. I'm curious to know. I feel like it will get resolved by the end of the season. I can't imagine it would go on to season 3, but you never know. I don't know. But I know it should take some time. That's for damn sure, because I don't want Kyle getting off this easy, because he effed up big time. But yeah, Sarah and that one kid staring at Sarah in class, that was very weird. I was wondering what he was going to say when Jordan asked, Sarah, oh, how are you? And she's like, I'm okay, or I'll be okay. And that dude was just staring at her. I thought that was very weird. And he's like, is there anything I can do? That's what, Jordan says. And she's like, no, I'm okay though, or whatever. But I don't know. I just hope nothing bad happens to Sarah, because she's bottling these emotions. She should let them out, and she should talk to Jordan. I hope she doesn't cut off herself from communicating with Jordan. I hope she uses Jordan as an outlet, because that's what relationships are for, is to talk about the rough things that happen and in your life, that you can, you have someone that you can depend on and talk to, and someone that understands you. And I feel like Jordan's a good outlet for her since they're dating. And I feel like I hope she uses Jordan as you're my boyfriend. I want to talk to you about this. And I know you're here. I hope she really just talks to him, you know what I mean? Because he's here to listen. But also Jordan finding out about Jonathan by Jonathan having, that inhaler roll out of his jacket. And he kind of like tried to make it sound like, oh, it's, Candace has, asthma. I was holding it for her. And already right away, he's like, I'm not buying it, but he was slightly buying it because he was asking, Jonathan, I know you're going to be starting or whatever, I know, like, tonight or whatever, but I guess it's because Timmy, it was out sick or something, but that's actually not the case. I think what was going on with Timmy, he got caught with the XK, or no, they don't know it was XK, but I guess he got caught with drugs. I'm not sure if they know it was XK. But he got caught with all that, and they're looking into the supplier on who's supplying all this stuff. So Jonathan is already worried about that. But I'm happy Jordan's kind of was on the trail. But what really set it off was the point where, like, Jonathan juiced up before he went out to go against, I guess they're called the Alligators. And I guess they have not been able to beat this team. So, like, and this is his first time starting. So he had to take the XK, at least he thought he had to win. Which is really sad that, Jonathan feels like he needs to take this to be ordered to be good when he's proven before that he's good at football back in Metropolis when he was going against people. But I understand to the point where, like, he's not going against normal people if Timmy's juicing up. So he thought, I'm going to even the playing field. And if he's going to cheat, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to level the playing field out. So he probably thinks it was okay for him to do that, which he did. He kind of does, because the moment where, like, they win the game. It was like, I think it was like 47. I think I wrote the score down. I could be wrong on the score, but let me check it out. I think it was like the score was like Crows 45, Gators 14. So literally, Jonathan beat them really bad. And Clark had to leave in the middle of that because he got a text from Anderson, or like he heard the inhibitor from Anderson, I think, or like I think he got a text. I think that's what it was, I recall. But the reason he found out that, about the inhaler and about Timmy, getting caught with the inhaler and the whole drug thing, and they're looking into people, is from Sarah's, excuse me about that, it's from Sarah's friend that we saw that owns that convenience store. She told, like, Sarah and Jordan what was going on with the inhaler and all that stuff, and that's how Jordan knew that it is X-Kryptonite that Timmy was taking and Jonathan is taking. He lied to him thinking it was his abilities kicking in, and I love when he confronts Jonathan about it. Candace comes. By the way, Candace came into the boys' locker room. Can we can we talk about that? I was like, damn, why are you coming in the boys' locker room like that? I was like, people could be changing still in there. She just came in, not having the care in the world, and she said to Jonathan, oh, you should be happy that you won or whatever. I mean, anyway, I thought you'd be happy about this, and I parked. If you wanna, after you're done, or after you're done, when you come out, I parked at a shady spot where you can, I was like, Candace is gorgeous, but I was like, nah, you're a crappy girlfriend. You're supplying drugs that you don't understand that have an exponential chance of you could hurt somebody because those things, the X-Kryptonite is unstable. You don't know what it is. So that alone annoys me that, but I understand why Candace is doing it. She's doing it because, her parents are having a tough time financially, so she's doing this to make money for her family, but it is a terrible way to do it because you are hurting people in the process. Like, this could hurt people. You don't know what this drug is. And again, I'm really pissed at Jonathan for sticking around with this girl, especially like, and also like taking it, you know what I mean? Like, and taking the stuff when you know what the stuff is capable of. She doesn't, but So it just makes makes me more angry at Jonathan that he knows what it is, but he's willing to take it all because he wants to get on Timmy's level, when I would have just snitched on him. I would have told, Clark, I'm like, hey, somebody on the football team is taking XK. I need you to deal with this. Deal with it. That's all I would have done. Or tell Sam instead of Clark. Sam would have done with it more of a normal way, probably. I just find it frustrating that Jonathan, wanted to get on the one kid's level and did that when he could have just snitched. But to need the story, it makes sense. But that confrontation where, like, Jordan's like, I thought it was your powers, but you're taking XK when you know it's wrong. He's like, I'm just getting what I deserve or whatever. And that really upset me. And he's like, I'm just getting what I deserve. And I forget what else he said. Like, you have everything or whatever. I'm just getting what I deserve. And, Jordan's like, it's not like that or whatever. And he said, don't touch me. And he has eyes glowing and shit. Jonathan is losing it. The more he takes that stuff, the more he's going to lose it and get angrier. And I just feel like something bad's going to happen. Especially because at the end of this episode, he makes it sound like he's not going to take it anymore. But I feel like he will take it more. Especially because he finds out that Candace is, people are going to start looking at Candace because she is the supplier. And I feel like he might take it because I feel like the DoD is going to get a whiff of the X-Kryptonite being out there, especially because that one, person in charge of Anderson shined a light how all this X-Kryptonite is getting out places. And I feel like since the police are dealing with the whole drug thing, they're going to find out it's X-Kryptonite. DoD is going to find out, and then they're going to go to, Candace's door. And I feel like maybe there's a chance where, like, Jonathan can take it and end up really hurting people trying to save Candace and all that shit. Maybe he can hurt Candace. He might hurt Candace by mistake because Candace is like, yo, you're scaring me, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I just feel like Jonathan is going down a really dark path, especially because that's going to be a cool fight when Jordan's not going to hold back anymore and Jordan's going to beat the shit out of Jonathan because Jonathan's really pushing Jordan to the point where, like, he's grabbing up on him. He's like, saying, oh, yo, stop touching me. You know what I mean? He's acting like, and the whole him punching him really hard and starting shit with him. Back when Sam was training Jordan and Jonathan wanted to act all tough and shit and hurt Jordan and then was losing it and just kept pounding on him. I feel like, Jordan needs to get one good punch into Jonathan to make him pull his shit together. Hopefully that talk, when he said, I don't want to talk to you, when they went back to the house. And again, mind you, Sam doesn't know what's going on still with the XK, even though he walked in the locker room. He didn't walk in on time to see the brute strength that Jonathan had. And of course, like the eyes glowing. But the only one that really knows the truth right now that anything is going on with Jonathan, again, is Jordan. And I just hope Jordan tells, Lois and Clark what the hell's going on. I hope he tells them that Jonathan's been taking shit in this. He needs to be held accountable for his actions, because if you don't tell, he's still going to do it. And the only people that make him stop doing it is, again, is Clark and Lois. And I hope they find out at some point, but they're so busy with other shit that I don't know. I feel like it's up to Jordan to really make sure Jonathan's on the right path of not taking that shit. But since he knows now, it's scary that, since he knows that Candace is kind of going to be in trouble, I feel like it's going to get deeper into this addiction with XK. Also, because now he won his first game as starter, and he needs to be starting quarterback for the rest of the year since Tim got in trouble, and I don't know if he'll be back on the team after him getting caught with drugs and stuff. So it's going to be interesting to me to see if he'll take it, because people are depending on him to win games. It's just going to be interesting to see how that storyline goes, along with all the other storylines of this episode. It's just very interesting to me to see where everything goes, because this episode ends, again, like I said, with Anderson taking Superman and pretty much locking him up with Tal-Rho, which is going to be great to see them in a cell together if that's the case. And of course, Tal-Rho is going to be like, I told you were like me, or I told you they would lock you up at some point, and then Tal-Rho is going to try to get in his head, and I'm wondering what the hell is going to be going on with that. So I'm excited for that episode, but I'm also sad because the moment where Sam walked in and said it's a Clark, they got him, they have him under lock and key. I thought she came in to say, because when they cut off when Anderson shot him again, I thought for sure he killed Superman. I was scared shitless. I was like, no way, that didn't just happen. But no, because the look on Lois's face, again, I just want to say to Elizabeth Tulloch, she does an amazing job as a Lois Lane. She gets my emotions, like she knows how to really get us as watchers and as fans to really get our emotions flowing. That look on her face when Sam came in made me think that Superman was dead. Made me think like the worst thing. Oh my god, made me think the worst. Like Clark is dead. Holy shit. Anderson did that. Like I really thought that for a second before, Sam said he's just, captured. They put him under lock and key because he's not telling the truth, and Anderson said they'll release him once Superman opens up about Bizarro and when they can find Bizarro, which I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see how that all goes. I could see maybe Tal-Rho working with Anderson saying, so my brother just told me where Bizarro is. I'm going to cut you a deal. You let me out and I'll give you this information. I bet you he's going to do something like that. And Anderson is so dumb. I felt like he would accept that offer and let Tal-Rho go without anybody else knowing. I feel like he would totally do that. And that's why I hate Anderson so freaking much. That man is screwed up so much. I understand he probably wants to, he thinks that what he's doing is right for this country, but he's so wrong, man. He's so wrong. But can we just mention, I just want to add this too. Because I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but I noticed this. When Superman is laying down, we see the bottom of his boot. And I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but that is an Adidas NMD. He's wearing an Adidas shoe that is turned into a boot. And I know that because I own, again, 3 pairs of NMDs, so I know that. But I just thought that was cool that, again, on the CW, and the crew members are like the people that design the costumes and stuff, like the costume designers, wanted Tyler to have some function, so they made they used an Adidas NMD, which is again a comfortable Adidas shoe, and they molded a boot, like molded a fabric around it to make it look like a boot. They turned it into a boot, that shoe, and I just thought that was cool. Because again, I know what Adidas NMDs look like, the bottom of them, because I have them, and I'll even show you guys real quick what it looks like for people that don't know what an Adidas NMD looks like. It literally looks like this. And I'm gonna put up the picture of the bottom of the shoe, but look, it looks like this, literally. So it's literally the same shoe, but they turned it into a boot. I'm not sure, like, if it's exactly like this, the same, like colorway design, but it's the same. It's an NMD because of the bottom of the shoe, and NMDs are the only Adidas shoe that have that type of bottom. So that's really cool that they were clever with that. They wanted to give Tyler, function, like a lot of function and a lot of comfortability. I said that weird. But a lot of comfort and a lot of mobility, that they gave him an NMD, but they built a boot around the NMD. And that's just sick to me. That's very clever and that's very cool. And it just goes to show that they really care that he's comfortable when he's playing Superman. That's just really sick. And also makes me think that, like, that Clark, when he was making a Superman suit in this real world, he just used an NMD and turned it into a boot. That's also fun for me to know that, because it's like Superman would make his own suit. His mom did make his first suit, but he made his other suit, and he made some comfort in the suit, so he chose an NMD Adidas shoe, and he turned it into a boot. That's so sick to me. So I'm not gonna lie, CW just earned a lot of style creds with me, because I love clothes, I love shoes, and I love NMDs, so they just earned a lot of style points for me. This show just jumped up. Even I just love this show 10 times more because of that choice, because that's just awesome how that's a little cool thing that they did. And like, not just outside of the show with, again, the clothing department, but also inside the show, that's how Clark made his Superman costume, made his boots. He chose an NMD and he made a boot around the NMD. That's sick. It's awesome. But guys, I loved this episode again. I really, really loved this episode. I thought it was cool and awesome. I loved how we got more of a backstory with Bizarro. Also, again, I love that foreshadowing where, like, he's fighting Lana, fighting those fighting the soldiers in the DOD, and it has like the red sun lights in there, and he had to use, again, I'm not sure what the inhaler, what he was inhaling. It could have been yellow sun, it could have been XK, but I feel like it's not XK because he said XK makes him weak, hence the whole Clark using them when he was punching the shit out of Bizarro, and he said XK makes me weak. So I bet you that's not it, and it makes sense, because if that was red sun outside, like in general, like in his universe, for Bizarro's universe, and red sun inside the DOD, it would make sense that he would need to somehow get strength and get stuff. So maybe it was XK that was giving him enough strength to do what he could do, but it doesn't explain how he was able to fly. So I'm thinking it was yellow sun he was inhaling. That's just my guess. Let me know if you guys understood that a little bit more than I did, because I was very confused. But yeah, I just love this episode. I'm loving this season. I'm loving where we're heading, especially next week's episode is going to be really awesome to see what's going to happen with all that. So I'm really excited to see how all these stories end up playing out. I want to know what your thoughts and theories are about what your thoughts were about this episode. I want to know what your theories are about going forward, of what we're going to expect for the rest of the season. And where you guys think the rest of the season is going to go. And also, again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put in those notifications, like this video. We'd love to have you guys here, a part of this family, a part of this channel. We're all about spreading love, positivity, and motivation. And guys, we are almost to 500 subscribers. We are literally building this family each and every day. And again, if you've come across my videos, I would just love to have you guys here. Again, if we hit 500 subscribers, which is my goal, it's not only me achieving my goal, but it opens the community tab, which makes me be able to talk to you guys a lot more and ask you guys a lot more questions and ask you guys what you guys want to see more here on the channel. So I just really want to access that part of YouTube. So yet again, if you're new here, I would love it, again, if you just subscribe to the channel. I would really, really appreciate it. And again, also leave a thumbs up on this video, because it helps out, again, with the algorithm. It helps push out the videos, helps more people come across my videos, but also it helps build the channel up more for people wanting to join the fam. So I would really appreciate it. But yeah, guys, I just really enjoyed this episode. I'm really curious to know what you guys have to say down in the comments below. But yeah, I just loved how that was an NMD shoe. That's just awesome to me. I want to know if you guys noticed that. Did you guys notice that? Because I knew saw it right away. And I was like, oh my god, they used an NMD shoe. It's clever on the clothing designers, but it's also clever that Clark made a Superman boot off of an NMD and just made a boot around the NMD. That's just sick to me. I just can't get over it. But yeah, guys, that was the video. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday for Superman and Lois episode. I want to say it's episode. I'm gonna check real quick because I forget. Episode. Let me check. Episode 7. So I'll see you guys next week for episode 7. But yeah, see you guys later. Peace.